Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back with another episode of The Witcher 3. And this is gonna be an interesting episode from my perspective as we chase down the former lovers of Dandelion and see where this is going to end up. Basically, the problem here is that we are in this danger zone in which any one of these next few story missions could end up with running into something that I'll have to edit out. And so we'll probably go a little bit longer this episode to avoid having to edit more than two things. What does this say? Laundry. Oh. It's laundry. Okay. Makes sense.
Julia, you agreed to pay him more.
I will get you every last copper, with interest. Give me a week, please.
Horson's no banker. He's an honest man. You pay on time, you get protection. You don't pay.
Help!
What you hollering for, stupid wench? What you hoping for? A knight in shining armour?
Close enough.
Keep out of this, greyhead, not your concern.
Vespula's got someone else's protection now.
Really? Who's that be?
Let's see. Do I say the King of Beggars or mine?
The King of Beggars made a deal with Junior. This is his turf now.
Didn't hear nothing about that.
But you have heard what Bedlam does to people who cross him. Or you need a demonstration?
Come on, Fritz. Boss wants it that way. It's how it's got to be.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. To think there are men who'll help a stranger out of the kindness of their hearts.
Did I just make
Not
that whole
entirely
story
out of
up?
kindness, and you're not entirely a stranger.
What are you? Oh, I know you. You're that witcher took Dandelion out whoring. Gerald, right?
I took Dandelion out whore?
Not Gerald. Geralt.
Oh. Dreadful sorry.
Explain something if you don't mind. You say I took Dandelion out whoring.
So he said. Claimed I was his one and only. But he fell in with the wrong folk. You and that dwarf who always looks like a cow licked him. Said you two were a bad example. Wine, women.
Song. He picked that habit up from us too? Gotta have a word with him. What do you think? Where could Dandelion be?
Probably out whoring. That horse pheasant. That lying scoundrel.
Ouch. What did he do to get your goat?
Same thing as ever. Prize bullshitter came back saying it was till death do we part this time. And no more than a week passed before I spotted him in Harbourside, strolling with some trollop on his arm. 'Twas the last straw. All those questions about the washerwomen at the bathhouse, then this. I beat him black and blue and threw him out on his ear.
Yeah, he's spying.
Dandelion ask you about other washerwomen? Not terribly subtle even for him.
Maybe he likes some sudsy.
Maybe. But what did he ask about, exactly?
Oh, this and that, really. What's it like at the bathhouse? Have I got any friends there? What are their working hours? I don't know. Maybe he's looking to hire one for his tavern. Maybe I got all in a huff for no reason.
This woman he was with in the harbor. Who was she?
Claimed she was his niece from Kovir. Ha! Horvir, more likely. Corset so tight her eyes were popping out her head. His too, come to think of it. An artist or a whore. Doesn't much matter as they're one in the same.
Thanks for your help. Listen, when I find Dandelion, anything I should tell him?
No. I mean, Tell him he's a two-faced snake, but it would be nice if he dropped by.
He's got a way with women, apparently. Apparently he's not good at keeping them, but he's pretty good at attracting them.
Naught for work, naught to eat.
Let's go see what this sunken... It's probably sunken treasure. Since it's in the middle of the smuggler's cache. Alright, dive. Buckthorn. There we go. Fishing rod. That wasn't too bad. Neither the smuggler's cache nor the interaction. Now I have no idea if I really know whether the King of Beggars have claimed this area or not. I'm not sure if I just made that up or not. A lot of... We've seen on several occasions, I wouldn't say a lot yet, but on several occasions, we've had Geralt say things that just don't... I'm saying to myself, like, I don't recall anybody saying anything like this, or even coming close to implying anything like this, like he's just making things up, or he has knowledge because the game needs him to have knowledge. So out of the blue he knows things. You saw that in the last episode where I'm talking about Ciri, and I just have no knowledge whatsoever about Ciri. Because maybe it's all in the first game, and that's, or the second game, and I don't remember. I did play the second game to the end. I know I did. But I don't remember a lot of it.
Do come in.
Isle. Why am I talking to this guy? This is the guy. Okay, well, whatever.
I'm a friend of Dandelion's, looking for Elial.
You've come to the right spot. How might I be of service? Need something shortened? Patch your trousers, darn your socks.
You Elial?
Yes? Now pick your jaw up off the floor.
Sorry, I thought Elial was one of Dandelion's girlfriends.
Oh, so it's that. Wait here. Any better?
So you're...
Elial.
Did you and Dandelion... I mean... How did you two meet?
I met him one night in a tavern. He was blind drunk.
This is a guy cross-dressing.
What happened?
What do you think? We spoke.
That's it.
I'm not sure what you're getting at, but I should make one thing clear. Men don't interest me. Told him that as well. Luckily, Dandelion's an open-minded fellow. We had a lovely evening. He became a loyal customer afterwards.
Interesting. Let's just get that out of...
I know this is none of my business, but why do you...
Why do I dress up? As a child, I dreamt of becoming a Doppler when I grew up. I became a tailor instead. Discovered clothing. Costumes can express all the complexities of one's personality. I'm a Redanian countess one day, a dockside thug the next. That is true freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Have you never thought to become someone else? Even for a moment? Must be horribly boring being a witcher all the time.
I managed to stay interested.
He does make a good point, considering how everybody hates the Witchers.
What did you and Dandelion talk about? He asked about anything in particular?
Let me think. Had an ordinary chat, really. Although, indeed, he did keep asking about Kalkstein. If Dandelion and I hadn't laid our cards on the table at the start, I might have suspected he had a history with the alchemist. He spoke like a lovesick beau. In fact, he desperately wished to meet with him.
Kalkstein's in Novigrad? Wouldn't mind seeing him myself.
You're too late, I fear. The witch hunters nabbed him recently, burned him at the stake in Hierarch Square. But as he perished, ooh, the goings-on, impressive. Fiery beasts circled his pyre, then rose into the sky and exploded to form letters.
Really? What did they spell?
Radovid sucks flaccid cock.
Dandelion visit your shop often?
I tried many times to talk him into a decent doublet. Sadly, he'd only come in to get a button reaffixed or a hole patched.
When did you last see him?
Some time ago. He brought in one of Zoltan's jerkins, insisted I sew on an extra pocket. Odd as requests go, I had the distinct feeling he'd actually come to talk.
Thanks for your help, and nice to meet you.
I can help with much more. If you need new trousers or a vest, you know where to find me.
Yes, except for his clothing are very expensive. I got 150 well-earned experience there in the new character entry. We gotta check that one out. Let's see. Where is it? Glossary, tutorial characters. LEL. Well, let's see, do we have any better equipment? I highly doubt that just the random pickups I get are gonna beat what I've crafted. Typically in games, what you craft does beat out whatever you're gonna be picking up at that level. Let's see. Is this too far? I think it is. Let's go to this marker and get some more quests. Is this a way in? If I go in this way, can I swim out and reach the streets? Sometimes when they design cities with sewers, rivers, whatever, going through them, they don't put enough entry and exit points, so if you were to fall off here, you could get in a situation where you would not have places to get back in, might end up swimming all the way out to open sea to even land and then having to run all the way back. Fortunately, at least for this case, that wasn't the fact.
Help! Save me! I'm dying of poverty.
So we don't even know what the deal is with those guys. They're some kind of rival gang. The city is pretty complicated. Like, which way? Which way do I go?
Truth is,
Oh.
we're already dependent on the black bulbs. Economic.
Like, I'm right next to the King of Beggars section.
You know the Ballad of Wanda, who scorned an Nilfgaardian?
Let's see, here's a painter.
How do you find Novigrad? Does it suit you?
A bard painting. And we're looking for the herbalist here.
Welcome, welcome.
Show me your wares, herbalist.
What have you got there?
Alchemy. Shop. Buy that, buy that. And then saltpeter is what I need to buy. What other ingredients do I need? So some of these mutagens I need will get the decoctions, but I'm not sure I'm ever gonna really use those. Ergot seeds. The oils themselves are not particularly helpful either. So let's see if we can get some saltpeter from them. No, I don't even think he has any.
So long.
But we did get some more pages, although I'm not sure that buying the pages is even the right thing. I might just find them in random places. New quest, Haunted House. Let's see what that quest is leveled at. 7? Visit the haunted house again. Yes, let's go back and visit the haunted house again. See, on the haunted house scenario, I'm wondering if I had not returned to the point where Johnny was in trouble until I had done the haunted house thing, if I might have been able to convince Johnny to move to this house.
Rain again. Damn.
Want to get in the house, and you get in the house this way.
Ow! Don't pull!
Well, you wanted braids.
But I didn't want my hair pulled.
Can't have one without the other.
Then I don't want them.
What is going on? Who are they talking? Who's talking? Nothing to loot up down here.
Witcher. Kareen, look who's come.
Live here together now? Didn't know.
Once you told me Sarah had been responsible for my nightmares, I decided to see if the devil's as scary as they paint him. Or her. I came in to find not a fiend, but our little Sarah. And I can't say why, but we took a liking to one another immediately.
Long ago, themselves from a world of beasts, humans began building cities. But since beasts prowl within stone walls as well as they do outside them, this did not allay human fears. The truth is, walls guarantee no one's safety. The place where you lock yourself in and lock all else out, that's not your home. Your home is sometimes a place you travel long and far to find.
So I like those wrap-ups, and I'd love to see these wrap-ups at the appropriate time, but they're not activating them at the right time. They need to activate it like after we see the quest being rewarded, and probably at the end of the game.
Yes?
Well, that was weird. So I thought I'd get Johnny to move in with her, but turns out the dreaming lady moves in with him. Easy quest. All I had to do is walk. Let's see. We're looking at the wrong quest right now. Back to Broken Flowers. It keeps going back to this quest, which is weird because of just... Alright, here we go. Custom marker. Just run into people. Let's see.
What do you see? Hey, you man.
I've had enough of living.
Here's an anvil guy. Could be nice. I think I'll deal with him later, possibly off screen. Well, if I'm gonna deal with him later off screen though, I need to talk to him now to make sure he doesn't say something interesting or important.
Need something sharpened? Reforged?
Let's see.
What do you have on offer?
I've already dealt with him, so I will.
So long.
Come back to him. Let's just for my use memorize where he is. He's right there. I definitely do need to improve on my weapons, although I might be doing so many storyline things for a while that by the time we are done following storylines, getting back to the Witcher section, the monster fighting section of The Witcher is possible that I'll have a whole new set of everything. So it's hard at times to figure out when is the correct time to spend your money and when is the time to
Snails come out after the rain. We'll catch
find
them.
your next piece of equipment. Usually, a lot of times in games it feels very much like if you just always find your equipment, you will always find better equipment, that it's actually a farce to ever have to buy any, as long as you play thoroughly enough in the game. Of course you can certainly fail to play thoroughly enough. We're getting the rain on the screen again. Starting to dislike the rain just for this effect.
This baronet's La Vallette's villa.
Shouldn't interest you. The Baroness don't mingle with just anyone.
Don't worry. I'm here to see your chambermaid, Molly.
Out of the way. Baroness is riding out. Be gone.
Greetings, Witcher. Must admit it's curious to see you here. I don't quite believe in coincidences.
Geralt of Rivia, slayer of monsters, and my son.
You're right, General. My visit's no accident. I'm looking for someone.
There's no one here who wishes to see you. Captain, this man is not to enter. Forgive me, Morvran, but I've lost my appetite for the races.
Kill a woman's son and appear at her doorstep? My. I thought witches had better survival skills than that.
Looking for a girl named Molly. Heard she works here.
I fear your information's out of date. Molly no longer works here.
Seem to know who Molly is. You also know she doesn't work here anymore. Know where I can find her, maybe?
This time of day? Probably sipping punch and considering which horse to bet on.
Not in the mood for jokes.
I jest you not. After Arian's demise, Luis's nephew came to pay his respects. Got one glance of Molly and, well, they wed soon after. They now await his inheritance. With the Baroness's son dead, the estate will go to the nephew and Lady Lata, known until recently simply as Molly.
Gotta wonder if Molly fell for the nephew or his inheritance.
We cannot know that just yet, but I'd wager she has strong feelings for both.
Alright, so where'll I find the newly minted Lady Lata?
Our dear little Molly has a new passion, horse racing. To my knowledge, she should be at Countess Vegelbud's villa right now. That's exactly where I'm going. Since you stripped me of Louise's company, perhaps you'd agree to come along.
Well, if Molly'll be there.
On our way then. We've arrived.
Nice place.
I must say, of all the creatures in this region, I find steeds most intriguing. Horses interest you at all, Witcher?
All the same to me. Call each one I ride Roach.
Strange. The grey is Cantarella, sired by Cahir, the champion from Vol.
Yeah. Gray's a good color. Even looks good on horses.
My coin's on the Black Stallion, Nemrod, purest Nilfgaardian stock.
Surprised he didn't salute you, General. Know anything about the Chestnut or the Bay?
The Chestnut is Thunderbolt, a pure-blood Britannian, gallant steed, but too headstrong for my taste, difficult to control. And the Bay hails from Zerrikania. Lord de Volte acquired him recently. I know little about him, though Zerrikanians are reputed to have incredible stamina.
Seem to know your horses.
I find them to be far more honest than men. Must say, I'm curious how you manage in the saddle, Witcher.
Mostly just try to stay in it.
What would you say to a little race?
Not what I came here for.
Don't make me beg, Witcher. Tell you what, win, and I shall give you my finest saddle, made in Nilfgaard proper of beautifully tanned leather.
Okay, so you probably can't hear this because I made the terrible mistake of accidentally unplugging my headset. So I've been sitting here quiet, going through this conversation, hoping the conversation would just wrap up and then I could end the episode and start it again. But this looks like it's just gonna keep going. So I'm gonna end this episode right here, and then maybe, since it's only been about 30 minutes, merge it with the next episode. So no wrap up, probably pointless in saying that. I'm gonna stop recording now and try to start recording the next one.